Thank you so much for attending my presentation about Chlorophyll, God's gift to grass types, and first let's talk about what it does. Since introduction in Gen 3, this ability hasn't undergone any changes. When the holder is in Sun, it has its speed doubled. This increase is huge even for slower Pokemon. Let's take something with average speed, Victreebel, as an example. With maximum investment, it easily breaks 500 faster than a large chunk of Choice Scarf threats. The Pitcher Plant doesn't outspeed everything, losing out to some of the quickest mons in the format, but can be a serious threat. So what Pokemon have Chlorophyll? A whole lot, that's for sure, 42 to be exact. There's a wide variety from Sunkern to Scovillain, but one common thread holds them together, the grass type. This is actually pretty important, combining with the high base power stab Solar Beam and Solar Blade, which now don't have a charge turn. Finally, Sun powers up fire type coverage options to give them more depth. This can be Heat Wave from Shiftry, HP Fire from Exeggutor, or Weather Ball from Venusaur, really just whatever. Singles Chlorophyll sets are pretty simple. Slower, stronger Pokemon that all of a sudden become really fast tend to do pretty solid. These sets love running the Life Orb, making good attacking stats great while keeping many options available. Let's take Shiftry as an example. Without a speed boost, this guy really fucking sucks. It's not fast or bulky at all, and while 100 attack isn't that bad, it just won't have the opportunity to get much done. Enter Chlorophyll, giving us some great offensive merit. With double speed, it's zipping past most Scarf Pokemon and is able to take advantage of powerful stab options. A mixed set is very common, running Knockoff and Leaf Storm to have the strongest moves available. Then, after it's finished tearing holes, Shiftry can use Explosion, picking off a dangerous threat and resetting tempo. We'll just switch in a Ghost type, you might be saying. Oh, switch it into a potential knockoff, one of the strongest, most versatile moves in the game? Not that easy. Shiftry also likes using Source Dance, taking advantage of passive play to win matches on the spot. This perfectly illustrates what Chlorophyll can do for a Pokemon. Give it the final tool it needs to see legitimate success somewhere. In VGC, Chlorophyll has a pretty different role, support. Unfortunately, in a doubles format, these attackers aren't going to sweep teams. Knocking out two Pokemon at the same time is remarkably difficult, and they're left wide open whenever they use an attack. However, these guys have found some real use as a hybrid option. This is because of Sleep Powder, a very common move on Chlorophyll mons. Even though it's only 75% accurate, this is generally considered good enough to be run. Getting something to sleep in VGC is a huge deal, especially since there's no sleep clause. Alongside a Sunsetter like Groudon or Torkoal, it's very easy to put the most dangerous attackers out of commission early. After this, you do see these builds transition into a more damage-dealing role. Turns out it's really easy to beat even restricted Pokemon when they literally can't hit you back. Fun times. There's so many Pokemon that have Chlorophyll to the point where talking about each will take a damn hour. Thus, I'm going to go over some highlights. Even though it's fringe at best in Gen 3 OU, Exeggutor is randomly pretty solid in Ubers where the sun-setting Groudon is great. With semi-reliable sleep and paralysis, Solar Beam, and a fine explosion, it's a really dangerous threat. Venusaur is probably the best Chlorophyll sweeper in singles, being a mainstay in high tiers. It loves running Growth, which boosts its special attack by 2 stages in the sun. This actually lets it run Giga Drain over Energy Ball or Solar Beam, having semi-reliable recovery. Venusaur also has legitimately amazing coverage in Earth Power and Fire-type Weather Ball, chunking the otherwise difficult Steel type. Its OU placement in Gen 5 is currently a bit fraudulent, not being strong in the tier at all, but afterwards it saw a lot of success. From UU to NU, it's always found a role. Things get even better in VGC, where it once again is amazing. It's basically always been solid, working especially well in restricted formats alongside Groudon. Venusaur's peak was probably in Gen 8, where its Gigantamax form gave it even more power. It would have many strong placements, including a win at NAIC 2022 piloted by James Evans. Finally, in Gen 9, Lilligant and fucking Jumpluff became good with a similar role on Sun teams. The latter is especially interesting, notably having Encore and Tailwind to set itself apart from the competition. Joseph Ugarte won a goddamn regional with it. This thing is raw. In conclusion, Chlorophyll has single-handedly made many Pokemon good. I could of course say this for other abilities, which I might make a video on at some point, but to be honest, I just love the grass type so much and what this abilities let them do. Also, I own a Weepinbell plush and it's the funniest shit ever. Thank you so much for watching.